This is Chanel Bunger with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast, and today I'm excited to speak with regular guest from RSM, Rick Kes, who joins us to share updates on economic trends he's watching. Rick, thank you so much for joining me today. Would you please take it away and quickly introduce yourself and then tell us about some of the things that you're seeing out there?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Rick Kes. I'm a partner at the firm RSM. RSM is the leading middle market provider of services. We focus on companies that have anywhere from about $100 million of revenue to $4 or $5 billion. And a lot of our clients happen to be in the private equity space, either portfolio companies of private equity held companies or private equity groups themselves. Interestingly enough, this is kind of a time frame for us that we are out canvassing our client base, just kind of talking about kind of the rest of the year, what the plan is for Q4, those types of things, and then even kind of planning into 2024. And, I think the common sentiment is, still cautious optimism around, maybe what the 2024 deal volume will look like, and if any deal volume could kind of accelerate in the end of 2023 here, just with some indications of the interest rate environment kind of maybe slowing down and keeping pace for a while, and that, maybe potentially limiting the number of increases that the Fed makes in the next couple meetings, as well as some positive news from a job front perspective. I think there's some hope that those two pieces of, new data will help, some of these deals that are close or kind of starting in the pipeline fully come to fruition. The other thing that we started to notice is that our private equity group clients are typically looking at investments. They're buying companies from, founders and so forth, and then, kind of trying to get them to a point where they're able to sell to a larger private equity group oftentimes. But, with the private equity groups kind of slowing down in some respects, we are seeing some of the corporate buyers come into the market and look for acquisition targets and other ways to kind of find opportunities. So it's a little bit of a new environment for us there, that we're seeing some of this interest from corporate activity, both on, acquisitions and divestitures. So, just a little bit of a new curveball to the equation. So I'd say that the big three things that we continue to monitor is interest rates, jobs, and inflation. And, for the most part, all three of those things are kind of, I'd say, from some respect, kind of getting to a point where they're a little bit more predictable. I think 18 months ago, we were in a spot of unpredictability, and I think we're starting to see some of that change and become a little bit more kind of normalized. So with that, again, optimism coming together, and hopefully, the rest of 2023 and 2024 will start to kind of be a little bit more of a typical deal flow environment. So those are kind of the big things we're seeing and hearing, and the things that we're tracking in the environment today.
Perfect. Well, thank you as always for keeping us updated on all of these trends. And thank you for joining me today on the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.